What's going on? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Get ready for another episode of Unpopular Opinion. I'm your host, Gran Hefe, like I am every single day of the week. Joined as always by my co-host and rainy. It's probably feel good up there today. It's been good lately in Washington State. How you doing, OG?
Man, it's been a good morning, great weekend for football. And to your credit, it is kind of raining. It's like a drizzle.
I
It's
figured it
doing
would
something
be.
out there. It's doing something out there. I ain't going out there though.
Yeah, hey, I pretty much figured it would. Before we get started in a busy show today, man, what's up with your baby Lakers, bro? They lost after leading by 20.
Man, so with my boy Zoe out. So yeah, it's gonna be a long road for us, man. We ain't got a point guard right now.
Yeah, that's
We don't have
tough.
a point guard, so it's gonna be
a
a long road.
Hey,
I don't even want to talk about it right now.
For sure.
I just want to talk about this football.
Go ahead.
I just want to talk about this football, man.
Oh yeah, trust me. We are about to get into that right now. Before we get started with the show, I just like to thank everybody that continue to support the podcast. However you're listening to it, we are live on YouTube today. Spreaker, Stitcher, Breaker, however you listen to it. We want to thank you for the continued support. Let's just get down to it, man. That NFC Championship game yesterday really left a sour taste in my mouth. Rams won 26-23. What's your thoughts on that?
Man, this was the weekend for football. The Rams, they did what they were supposed to do, man. That game, they made somebody other than Michael Thomas try to beat them, and they were successful at it. Because if we look at Thomas' numbers, man, my man only had 4 receptions for 36 yards. And to caveat it, the Saints running backs, they were shut down in the rushing department. You talking about both Alvin Kamara and Ingram, they both combined for 46 yards rushing. And, when Alvin Kamara is your lead receiver with 96 yards on the day, you ain't going to win that game down the stretch, man. Not a game like that. And you can't leave it up to the referees, to win that game for you. And that's what happened. It was left up to the refs, basically. You talking about the Rams, on the other hand, they had help from the refs. That blown call saved their Super Bowl. The Rams should thank the refs because, to me, that hit was so malicious, bro. And it was the biggest missed PI I've ever seen. And there have been some really bad ones, but that one is a clear one that should have been called. Nicole Roby-Coleman killed Tommy Lee Lewis, bro. He killed that man in front of millions. They witnessed that man get murdered, and that blown call, man. That was the ending. I knew that was the end. I was like, yeah, this one's over. The Rams are gonna win this one. But to credit the Rams, man, their defense played well. I thought, other than the blown call, it was a few things I thought, that should have been called on them, but I thought they came out pretty well. They had Michael Thomas down. They shut the running backs down. What else? Who else is there? So they made someone other than, their stars beat them. And that's what happened, man.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Listen, man, nobody really wants to be a part of, a game. Like, we should be talking about how great the NFC Championship was yesterday, how great of a game that was for the second time in a row. For the second time these teams have faced off with each other. They given us 2 great games. But instead, we're sitting here talking about a blown missed PI call. And listen, man, I'm right there with you. I've seen some bad PI calls in my lifetime watching this sport that we call football. But I don't think I've ever seen a PI call so bad. Missed so bad. First off, Drew Brees threw a bad ball. If he should have picked that off. He wasn't looking. So that's the first mistake by Nicole Roby-Coleman. Because according to how the NFL officiate this stuff, if you don't turn around to play the football, even if you don't even hit him, you don't even have to contact the guy. You can actually knock the ball down. And if you're not playing the ball, they will still call a pass interference. So that's number 1. Number 2, he hit him clearly before the ball got there. Listen, the ball was still in the air when he hit him. It hadn't even hit. So, and then three, it looked to be helmet to helmet. So there was 3 calls that was missed on one play. And what I don't understand is how they could huddle up, how they thought huddling up, and they still got the call wrong. How do you go talk it over and still say, yeah, man, I think that's a legal play? They said it was bang bang. I don't know how
They
that's bang
said
bang.
it was bang bang. I don't get how it's bang bang either. That was more like lay them out. Like, I don't care. Put it all on the line. Like, that was so terrible. Those refs are terrible. They deserve to be talked about. I mean, the Saints were robbed. They were robbed, bro. They had
And
that
then
game in the bag.
honestly, bro, what do Sean Payton and the New Orleans Saints do, honestly, in this situation where now they're at home and they thinking about it, and they're not even in the Super Bowl right now, and all they can get is a call from the league office to say, oh man, yeah, we blew that call. So what are you gonna do about it? Now I don't believe that anything should be done about it, because we've seen bad calls before that led to teams losing the game. So for them there is a rule in place that the commissioner can that he can overturn the call that was on the field. I don't think he should do that, and I don't think he should do that because it's just not fair to the other people. If you want to read the article, I read it to you right now. It's Rule 17, Section 2, Article 1. The commissioner has the sole authority to investigate and take appropriate disciplinary and or corrective measure if any club action, non-participant interference, or calamity occurs in the NFL game which the commissioner deems so extraordinary, unfair, or outside the accepted tactics encountered in professional football that such action has a major effect on the result of the game. Well, I think that definitely fits the bill of what happened yesterday. Would you agree?
I do agree. But I don't think he should overturn it.
I'm right there with you.
You should just let whatever run its course, because if we get to this, what's next? Because every game it's going to be blown calls, but we don't need the commissioner investigating every single game and saying, "Oh no, this team should have won this one. I want them there." We don't need that. Let history run its course. Just let football be football. We don't need the commissioner stepping in and making these decisions. Yeah. That's what the referees are for.
Yeah, I agree. And also, let's just read Section 2 of that, because Section 2 of that is really the juicy part of that article. Rule 17, Section 2, Article 3, the commissioner powers under this Section 2 include the reversal of a game result or the rescheduling of a game, either from the beginning or from the point at which the extraordinary act occurred. So basically, he can either say we're going to play the game over, he can give the win to the Saints, or he can just say let's play it from that 145 where the thing actually hit. And this is a tough one. This is a tough one for me, just because, like you said, we don't need the commissioner stepping in. We don't need the commissioner doing all of this other stuff. That's the rules. Now, I would like to see a better ending to games, meaning in the final 2 minutes, you should be able to review controversial calls. You should be able to
throw your challenge flag on something like that.
Or just the referees. Or just the referees should be able to do that. In the NBA, when there's a controversial call in the final 2 minutes, what do? They always go right back to the monitor. Why can't the NFL adopt that in winning time?
Like I said, the NFL is so far behind compared to the NBA. Maybe they'll catch up someday, but by the time they catch up, the NBA will be in 2030. The NFL still be in 2019.
Yeah, so. I just don't understand this. And now you got one team, and Sean Payton. I mean, listen, man, they were hurt, bro. Like, they were hurt. We're talking about without that call, and I get it, missed calls that happen all during the game. And I'm usually on the other side of this. I'm usually on the side that says, well, there was missed calls throughout the game, we can't just pinpoint one call on why, you know, this team lost. And I know everybody's pointing to the missed face mask call on the drive on Brandon Cooks on the previous drive. I don't think that directly impact a team winning or losing a game. I don't believe that, because had this blatant call been called, the Saints would have been able to run out the clock and kick a field goal and win the game. It was a tie game at that point.
Yep.
It's a tie game with 1:45 left. They get to run out first and goal. They get to run out the clock and kick a field goal and win the game. And the referees just blatantly missed the call. I don't. And now we're sitting here, the Saints, we're talking about jobs getting affected here, man. Like, you know, legacies being impacted here. We just talked about last week, if he won this Super Bowl, will he be better than Drew Brees, that is? Will he be better than Aaron Rodgers? Now we don't even get to have that discussion. Why? Because it was taken from them.
Yeah.
You know?
We don't get to talk about seeing two 40-year-olds battle it out.
Exactly.
You know?
Two 40-year-olds in the Super Bowl. Like, come on, man. Like how great would those storylines be? You know, Mike Buckheist, he asked the question on RTS Sports Talk last week, what would I want to see? And I said I would love to see two 40-year-old quarterbacks. You know, that's a how amazing would that have been? But now we have everybody now talking about how great Sean McVay is, and he is. Don't get me wrong. You know, he's great. But they shouldn't have won that game. Todd Gurley only had 10 yards. C.J. Anderson only had 44. I was even wondering how they was even in this game to begin with. Jared Goff only had one touchdown.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the Saints, they did that. You know, they did their thing on defense. I didn't think they would be able to, you know, hold them off without, you know, their defensive front and stuff being beat up and stuff like that. I didn't think they would be able to hold them off, but they did a great job, man. So they showed up to play. They had their game plan in place, stop the run, you know, try to hold Brandon Cooks back. But you know, but Brandon Cooks still had like 107 yards. So
yeah, he went off. He did his thing against his former team. I'm sure that meant a little bit more to him. You know, being that he probably think that he should probably still be on the Saints, being released or traded unfairly. But let me ask you this question: do you think that the NFL in the offseason will go back and review this rule? Hold on. Before you answer that question, answer this question, and then you can go to the next question. Do you think Roger Goodell will do anything about it? There's been, I think, over 150,000 petitions signed for them to do something about this. Michael Thomas has came out. Adam Schefter has came out. Obviously, everybody on ESPN has came out. Do you think pressure is going to make Roger Goodell do something about this?
See, the thing about Roger Goodell, he always does something when it's too late. It's always too late when he do it. And I think what's going to happen is he's going to speculate about doing something, but nothing is ever going to come from it. Everything's going to stay the same. The Rams will be in the Super Bowl, battling the Patriots. That's what we're going to see. But that's the thing with the NFL. They're not really that progressive. They're a little behind on the time, so I don't think Goodell is willing.
They
to
always
change.
reactive instead of proactive.
Exactly. They're not with the change right up front. They're like, let's wait and see and play this thing out. Oh, then 3 years later down the road, they're like, oh, yeah, you remember that game with the Saints and the bad call?
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Because the same thing just happened again. So,
let me,
you know.
What? I don't know how this feels because I've never been on that side of things, of a blown call being really, honestly, the direct impact of you losing a game. What do you think goes through these guys' mind when the NFL league office called them and say, "Yeah, we made a mistake," but isn't going to do anything to change the outcome of the game?
Well, I mean, at that moment, what can go through your mind? Like, because honestly, what can we really do? Why are you calling me and telling me this?
Listen,
like, I'm like, you should call me.
I will flip the F out, bro.
Don't call me.
Don't call me telling me that you made a mistake.
Me.
Don't call me telling me you made a mistake.
Exactly.
If you're not going to do anything about it. Let's line back up and play that final 145 then. You don't even got to give me the penalty yards. Just let's go back and play it from that 145. You know, but don't call me talking about, oh yeah, the referee should have made that call. Dean Blandino all on Twitter talking about it. Yeah, that it should have been called. What's the other Pereira? Mike Pereira. Yeah, that they missed the call. What does that do for the New Orleans Saints right now? What did that do for Drew Brees, who's 40 years old right now? What if he come out next year and get hurt and have to retire? Now he has to live with, damn, we got robbed for a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
That's like the ultimate betrayal, man. That's so hard to deal with because you work out. Some players work their whole life just to get to one Super Bowl,
just to get there, man.
Just to get to one Super Bowl, and then they get robbed like that, bro. That hurts so bad. I couldn't imagine what they are feeling because I've never been in that position where I want something so much and I work my whole life for it. I've never been in that position.
To just be able to grab it. Just to be able to just you right there.
Right there.
And it just gets taken away from you.
Someone just takes it away from me. I've never been in that position.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
That's tough.
I cannot, man, listen. These next 48 hours or so, 48 to 72 hours, is really going to tell all. Because they have 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. So we're going to see whether or not what Roger Goodell going to do. My money is he won't do anything, and I think that he shouldn't do anything because he hasn't changed any calls from anybody else, or he haven't changed the outcome of games or reverse games in any other bad call situation. I think they're going to go to the drawing board in the offseason. I think they have to because this will be a topic of discussion all summer long. This will not go away. Drew Brees won't let it go away. Sean Payton won't let it go away. Michael Thomas won't let it go away. Mark Ingram, he couldn't even say nothing in the post-game interview. All he could do was shake his head because it's tough, man. You work 17 weeks to get here, 18 weeks to get here. And to have it just snatched like that, that's tough, man. That is tough.
Yeah, it's hard to accept defeat on something you didn't lose.
Yeah, man. Know? It's tough. Yeah, like you didn't beat me, bro. Like you got help, But let's switch over to the AFC Championship game. A better game, but slightly less controversial. The Patriots won 37-31 in overtime. It is of note to mention that both games did go into overtime. The two best games that we had all year long was the two best games that we had again yesterday on Championship Sunday. What more can you ask for? Overall thoughts on the AFC Championship game?
That Kansas City and New England game, did it live up to the hype, Billy? Did it live up to the hype? I told you Friday. I told you. I said, this is the game every sports fan has been waiting for. And sure enough, them boys showed up and they showed out and they came to play. A lot of things happened in both playoff games, but to me, this New England game, that thing made me wish I liked blue and white more. And, unfortunately, I like blue and orange, so...
I don't know if it did that, but
it made me like blue and white a little more now. Tom Brady is the GOAT, man. And when I say the GOAT, I mean he's the GOAT in all caps. That comeback that Tom Brady led, amazing. I knew when he got that ball back, I said, if Tom Brady scores right here, he's the GOAT. That's all there is to it. And he scored, Billy. Let me just tell you that game time drive. The things that he got a little help too. He got a little help. That D4 jumping off sides.
Yep.
He got a
that
little
should have
help.
been game over.
Yeah, it should have been game over.
And not even jumping off sides. He just lined up
off sides. So the play should have been dead at the beginning, really.
Yeah, he just lined up off sides.
Yeah,
that was ridiculous.
So he got a little help, but that still doesn't take away from the fact that Tom Brady is a bad man. Tom Brady bad. He bad. And I told y'all, it's one thing you don't do. Okay, the Kansas City Chiefs, they have the better overall team. But it's something about Brady and Belichick. When they get this deep in the playoffs, they are scary. You never know what's going to happen. You can be down by 2 scores. Up by 2 scores. They can be down by 2 scores. And they will find a way, Billy. They will find a way to come back and get you. And then when we went in overtime, and I seen that coin toss, and it said Patriots receive, I said, it's over. It is over. Tom Brady went out there and threw that OVA on them. He threw that OGA on him. Over. It was over. Man, that was a great game. I loved everything about it. I'll let you get into the stats part about it, because I wasn't even worried about the stats. And while I was watching that game, I was just like, Tom Brady is really the GOAT. Like, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I went out and I talked to my landlord, and I talked to him about the game, and he was like, Tom Brady. And this guy's like 70 years old, right? I'm like, Tom Brady. I was like, did you see that? He was like, man, I tell you what, I've been watching football for a long time. What Tom Brady did today, we gotta call him the greatest, because I've never seen anything like him before.
Well,
and I was like, you're right.
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that Tom Brady the GOAT discussion later. But let me shed some real light into this. Let me shed some real light.
Go ahead.
Tom Brady in crunch time is the greatest I've ever seen. He's the calmest, the most patient, just never. I mean, you can see it in his face in crunch time. Tom Brady didn't play well that whole entire game. Let's be real about that. The one interception on the goal line, terrible throw. He threw it right to Reggie Ragland. Terrible throw. The one that Swanson picked off, that was a terrible throw. The D forward play when he lined up all sides, that was also a terrible throw. So if that, and I know we could do what if. If that doesn't happen, if D4 just lined up on side, it's not like he jumped early trying to jump the snap. He just clearly lined up all sides. We're talking about a different conversation here. We're talking about how great Patrick Mahomes is. Because in all of this, we forget what Patrick Mahomes did yesterday. We forget that this man got the ball with 39 seconds left and drove him down the field. And I thought he was 2 Andy Reid bad calls away from possibly winning that game. With 11 seconds left, you got to try to go to the end zone at least one more time. At least one more time. Because honestly, what's the difference between you throwing the ball with 15 seconds left with no timeouts and 11 seconds? Because even if you take a sack with 15 seconds left, I still don't believe you get the field goal on the field goal unit on the field in time to be able to kick that field goal. Because an average play costs about, the average play is about 4 to 5 seconds. So we're looking at about 11 seconds where he threw the ball at, right? So what if he gets sacked right there? Do you think they're going to be able to run everybody on the field right away and kick that field goal? I don't think so. So for me, I thought Andy Reid should have pushed the issue at least 1 to 2 more times to the end zone. You got Kelvin Benjamin, who's 6'5". You got Travis Kelce, who's about 6'4". Come on, man. You got Tyreek Hill. You got Sammy Watkins. You got both of the Williams boys that have been playing good all day.
I ain't gonna let you keep bringing up Calvin Benjamin like he's good or something.
I'm not saying he's good. But what I do know is I seen Kelvin Benjamin in 2013 on January 7th of 2013 go up with his 6'5" frame and snatch down the game-winning touchdown in the national championship against Auburn. I know what he can do. I'm just saying he's 6'5". That's all I'm saying. He's 6'5", and you're going to go to the end zone because you're only throwing to the sideline or in the end zone with no timeouts left in that spot. So why not use your 6'5" guy? Why not use Kelce? That's all I'm saying. And we're talking about Brady, and Brady didn't have a good game. I listen. He's the GOAT in crunch time. He's that. He's that.
Give him the GOAT.
But Brady all this season hasn't played well. Sony Michel had 29 carries. So that means they lean heavily on the run game. They have 4 rushing touchdowns. That means they lean heavily on the running game. Tom Brady came up in the spots that he needed to come into. Credit to him. I would never take that away from him. I've always said he's probably the greatest clutch player I've ever seen in my life. But let's not overblow what he really did. Because like I say, we're talking about 3 interceptions here, and they got bailed out. That would have been game over with. Up 4, that would have been game over. So, yeah, I get it. Tom Brady is great. 9 Super Bowls, that's unbelievable, man. 3 straight Super Bowls, that's unbelievable. That's unheard of in the NFL. But let's not overblow it now. He had a pretty marginal game, and Patrick Mahomes really outplayed him. and we're talking about Tom Brady. I get it because he's going to the Super Bowl, but let's not overblow what he did.
Come on, my man had 348 yards, man. 30 from 46.
He also had
two interceptions. You know, but it happens. Sometimes it just happens. But if you look at Tom Brady's body of work through that game,
it was pretty mediocre.
Really kept.
It was mediocre.
Come
mediocre.
On, Billy.
It was mediocre.
Come on, Billy.
I would argue that the catches made by Hogan and Edelman and Gronk were way more impressive than what Brady did.
Brady's throwing them the ball.
No. Most of those passes was bad passes. That pass to Gronk that Eric Berry was trying to cover, that was a terrible ball. One, Eric Berry never looked back for the football. Two, it was underthrown. You should never, as a receiver, when you have a step on a defensive back, and this is what I hated when I play receiver. When I have a step on a defensive back, do not make me slow down and have to jump back and reach over somebody. Put the ball out. I'm 6'5", or Grunt 6'7". I'm 6'7". Throw the ball up. No.
Here's the thing, though.
That's a bad pass.
Brady has horrible receivers. He don't know what they're gonna do really. He just
praying
that they do something.
It don't seem to me that they're horrible. Listen.
They ain't the same.
We can say that they're not Julio Jones and all these other guys. I'll give you that. But let's not mistake anything. I guarantee you, those receivers that Brady have are some of the clutchest receivers in the league.
Because they have one of the clutchest quarterbacks throwing them.
What that got to do with them catching the football?
What you mean?
Michael Vick's career would have been so much different had guys caught the ball. But the narrative is this guy was only a runner. Years later, Roddy White came out and said, "Yeah, man, we probably screwed Vick's career up. I was drinking every night before the games and all that other stuff." So listen, I get it. Brady keep throwing the ball, but you still have to catch it. If they don't catch it, we don't even talk anything about Brady. Those catches that Hogan made, one hand falling down, a defender draped on them, Edelman, time and time again, third down catch. It seemed like they could not stop the middle of the field. Every time you knew what it was. They get him in third down, you know he's going to run a slant. You know it. It's every single time. Every single time. So
if you can't stop it, then why stop?
No. I get it. I get that on Brady's part. Yeah, of course we're gonna run this play and until we can't run it no more. I get it. But what I'm saying is, we tend to put Brady up here as we should, but we tend to talk about his receivers as if they're not making great catches. Come on now.
Okay, they made good catches.
That's clutch.
From a great quarterback.
That's clutch.
They made great catches.
They probably would make that catch if anybody else was throwing them the ball. If they put it in a spot where they can catch it.
I guess great receivers make great plays, you know?
Exactly. Great. If the ball is in range, great receivers or clutch receivers, big time receivers is going to make those catches. And Hogan and Edelman and Gronk, they made it time and time again. They did that. So I get it. Brady's great, man. But I think we tend to overblow really what he done. And he had a pretty average day, honestly, to me. He had a pretty average day. A lot of the passes that he was throwing in the first half was dink and dunk. Literally, he only had the ball for 1 second. He snapped it and it's out of his hands. And listen, man, they can't stop it. Do it. But what I'm just saying is that's not what I'm going to say a GOAT is. What I say he's probably the greatest clutch player I've ever seen. Is he one of the top probably
Billy.
3 greatest?
Billy. Here we go with this. I ain't even going. We're gonna let the Super Bowl talk the rest of the trash because you already know where I'm picking.
So what happens if he goes 5-4 in the Super Bowl? He already has 3 Super Bowl losses: 2 to the Giants, 1 to the Eagles. What if he loses this Super Bowl?
He won't.
No.
He won't.
Well,
he won't.
Well, we thought that he wasn't going to lose last year against the Eagles too. We thought that the 2 times that he lost against the Giants that he wasn't going to lose that one either.
We'll talk about that when we get there.
I'm just saying.
For now,
I'm just saying.
Brady,
we overblow what he did yesterday.
Come on,
we overblow what he did yesterday.
When Brady got that ball, did you think he was gonna drive down the
Of
field?
course, because he's the greatest clutch player I've ever seen. I'm not.
So
I'm not debating
you
that.
Just knew.
No, I'm not debating that he's not clutch. I know. You know, we sat here and talked about this last week, and I said it. 30 points will not beat the New England Patriots. I said that last week. 30 points would not beat them, and it didn't. It didn't. And I said if Brady gets the ball in clutch time, it's over with. I've never debated that. Never. We know what Brady does in fourth quarter overtime. They even put the graphic up on the screen. 11 career game winning drives. You know, he's clutch. He's clutch.
Let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
Is Brady not the greatest quarterback you've seen play?
I don't know if he's the greatest quarterback I've ever seen play. I'm honestly speaking to me, and I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with you here. To me, he's the greatest clutch quarterback I've ever seen, and you can't argue with the accolades as far as the rings and the amount of championships he's been to. But we also have to credit that to Bill Belichick also. So for me, on face value, I think Peyton Manning is one of the best quarterback I've ever seen. We're talking about can put the ball there. We're talking about the smarts to make checks in and out of the lineups.
But we know Manning is not the GOAT. He's not the greatest of all time.
He's not
the GOAT.
But
most he don't have the accolades to go along with it.
But most people went, well, why don't he? He has the most.
He doesn't though.
He has the most NFL MVPs of any player ever.
How many Super Bowl MVPs he got? How many Super Bowl MVPs he have?
One. And that means what?
Okay, how many Brady?
What does that mean?
How many Brady have?
What did how many do Brady got? What, 3 maybe?
Yeah, I think he got like 3.
If I'm not mistaken, he got 3. He won the Super Bowl MVP last year. He won the Super Bowl MVP the year that they beat the Falcons, and I'm not sure what the other MVP is, but I know for sure he got those 2. I'm just saying Super Bowl MVPs don't mean that you're the GOAT. They normally just give it to the best player anyways. That's normally how it works. You know, they normally give it to the guy that's quote unquote Brady, the star of the team. Go ahead.
Let me just tell you how many he has. 4 Super Bowl MVP awards.
Did he win the one against Carolina? That's the 3rd.
So let me get back to you on that because I still got to research.
Just for me.
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
Is he clutch? Yes, he's clutch. Listen, I get it, but we tend to overblow dink and dunk. 5 here, 5 here, 2 here, 3 here. Listen, I just
every play can't be a big play, Billy.
No, I get it.
Sometimes you gotta dink and dunk.
No, I get it. But every play is dink and dunk.
Come on, Billy. Then you gonna do it again. You try to get me riled up this morning. I'm gonna stay.
I'm not, bro. I'm just speaking how I really feel about Brady. Like this is what when I see Brady, that's what I see. And like I said, we don't give his supporting cast any of the credit. We didn't give James White no credit for that comeback. We didn't give James White any of the credit. This man should have won Super Bowl MVP that year. But what do we do? Look at Tom Brady. Look at what he did. Look at this. He brung them back. No, James White brung them back. James White was the man of that game. He's the one that took that game over. Yesterday, Brady played great in crunch time. But let's not overlook what the third down catch after the third down catch that Julian Edelman had. The insane catches. And I guess I'm a receiver, so I'm going to give a little bit more love to the receiver here. But
I'm going to tell you something. Here we go. Look. I'm going to give you something you can relate to. You put Brady on the Browns. You give him Jarvis Landry, Rashard Perriman, Antonio Callaway,
Higgins,
and watch what he
Njoku.
does. Yeah, and watch what he does, bro.
He's going to be better, of course.
He's going to be better because those are better receivers
I get
than his receivers.
I get it. But I don't care like who's better. I care about performance. I care about when you that's like saying to me, oh, this guy got more upside. Who cares about upside? I don't. Upside is potential that haven't been released yet. We're talking about what happens on the field. And what I know that happens on the field is
so we gonna argue with wins?
No, I'm not gonna argue with wins.
We can dink and dunk all day, but if we winning, We winning.
No, I get it. But we're specifically talking about Brady, and I don't think he's the GOAT. I just don't.
Come on, Billy.
That's all I'm saying.
Man.
That's all I'm saying. Will he do special things in crunch time? Yes, he will. Brady does that. That's what Brady does. But I'm not willing to sit up here.
Brady to be the GOAT for you? What is it going to take for him to be the GOAT for you?
I don't know.
What does Brady have to do?
Well, what I will say is it's not his fault. And that's the fact that he's paired up with Bill Belichick. If he wasn't with Bill, let me ask you this question then. If he wasn't with Bill Belichick, do you think he goes to 9 Super Bowls? 3 straight. Eight straight AFC championship games.
I think if he wasn't with Belichick, he probably won more Super Bowls. Because Belichick lost him. Belichick lost him too. Belichick lost him too. We know he lost him too.
So what about the ones that Brady should have lost? Like the Tuck Rule game. Or the Spygate game.
Well, why are we talking about these games? No. Do we even have any clear evidence?
Yes, it's been clear evidence. Yes.
We ain't got no evidence.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I do not. Now, I do also believe that Bill Belichick wouldn't have been to 9 Super Bowls if it wasn't for Tom Brady as well. I think they go well together. But let's not overblow the significance of Bill Belichick on Tom Brady.
Belichick ain't out there throwing that ball.
Okay.
That's Brady.
Okay. Hey,
he's coaching.
He's coaching.
Hey,
but say what you want to say. Say what you want to say. But guys all across the league have called Bill Belichick the greatest coach they've ever seen. I haven't heard a debate for any other coach. Everybody recognizes
Belichick is the greatest coach.
Brady is not universally recognized. Yes, he's not universally recognized as the greatest quarterback. Tom Brady is not universally recognized as the greatest.
Well, he will be. He will be, Billy.
No.
After the Super Bowl. No, after the Super Bowl, you gonna be a believer. You gonna say Brady to go. Yeah. Matter of fact, we gonna talk about this. We gonna talk about.
I think we overblow what happened. So let's move on a little bit. Let's switch gears. Talk about the other side of the football. Is it time for a change in Kansas City? A head coaching change? Should Andy Reid be let go?
What I tell you about Andy Reid, he can never he's only gotten there one other time, and it seems like he can never seem just to get there. The Eagles had a great team all those years Andy Reid coached them. They had great teams. You talk Brian Dawkins. You talking
T.O. McNabb.
T.O. McNabb.
Westbrook.
Brian Westbrook. I'm talking.
They had them hitters.
Talking about the greatest.
They had them hitters
I've ever seen assemble. The Eagles had them. I used to cheer for the Eagles.
I used to play with the Eagles on Madden back in the day.
Exactly. McNabb had that truck. You couldn't stop him. And so when I tell you, I've watched Andy Reid never get over this hump. This is just something he really can't do. He can't get over this hump. And when he did make it over, they blew it. They had the game in the bag and they blew it.
They blew this one.
And they blew this one. And that's what I said. I told you, Andy Reid, I like him as a coach. I like him as a guy. I think he's a fantastic coach.
Yep.
But he just can't get over this hump. Maybe he need to be in an assistant coach position. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, no shade. But maybe he needs to be in that assistant coach position, and they get a real, I'm not gonna say a real head coach, but a head coach that is willing to make the team go further, because Andy Reid's just not doing it. He's just not doing it. He can't do it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I don't know what it is about Andy Reid and big games, but it seems like the two just don't mix. It's like oil and water, And this game, this is a game that he should have won. This is when they went up 28-24, I was like, yeah, Brady's probably going to come back and win this game. I just had no faith, one, in Andy Reid or his defense, and then I had a abundance of faith in what Tom Brady could do in crunch time. And you put the two together, and you get what happened yesterday. They didn't make Tom Brady sweat on that final drive of the game. It's just marching it down the field, just casually, boom, throw here, boom, throw here, run here, boom. It was. bad defense after bad defense after bad defense. And then, not only that, obviously they get the ball in overtime first, and they just march it right on down the field again. It's just, yep, the Saints come marching in. Boom, 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 one after the other. Which brings me to this point. Should the NFL overtime rules be changed? Should both teams be allowed to get the ball, or do you like the way first team score wins?
First team score winner, I like it. It adds a lot of pressure to the game. It makes you realize, hey, we don't get another possession. This is it. Because the other team can go down and kick a field goal, and the first team who has possession just blows it. So I really like it. It puts a lot of pressure on the teams. I think it's a really good rule.
I hate it.
And if you change that though, like how long can this game go if the other team just scored 2? How long are we gonna go overtime for? I ain't got time to be watching football all day, Billy. I like football. Don't get me wrong.
Well, in the playoffs,
but ain't nobody finna watch it all day like that.
Well, in the playoffs, if both teams, if it doesn't end in a tie in the playoffs. So what if that happens? What if no team scores for the first 15 minutes of overtime? Guess what? You're going to be seeing another overtime anyways. And what if they don't score again in that overtime? I'm just saying that in every other sport, the overtime rules or the extra innings or whatever you want to call it, both teams get to play. In soccer, both teams get to get penalty kicks, right? Both teams get a shot at that. They don't say let's flip a coin based on probability, and then if you win that, yeah, you got the advantage. And in basketball, both teams get to score, right? Both teams get the ball, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You can't.
No.
Billy, you can't stop.
I'm just saying in every sport, both teams are allowed or have a fair chance. That's all I'm saying. Both teams have a fair chance. No.
Football is a brutal game.
College football is also a brutal game, and both teams get to score in that as well. I'm just saying every sport, no matter what the sport is, no matter what level of competition you are playing, both teams get a level of even playing field. Both teams do
even
that.
If you
it's
stop
not even.
them.
No. It's not even. It's not even, and it's not even because it's decided by a coin flip. How is a coin flip even?
Because you said he said tails.
No, that's probability though. It's probability.
It's 50-50 probability though. It's 50-50 probability though. So that's even.
That's not a fair.
Come on, Billy. That's 50-50 probability. What
in college football, both teams get that 50-50 probability, but that doesn't stop both teams from being allowed to score. Like I say, college football, both teams get a chance to score. Basketball, obviously, both teams get a shot at the ball.
This is the NFL, though.
I don't care. What we
talking
about?
This is elite. I'm talking elite versus elite. Your defense should, if you really want to win this game, your defense should go out there and play shutout so you can get the ball back.
No, that's unfair. That's unfair.
How is that
unfair? It's because in a sport, both it should be somewhat even. In overtime, both teams should be allowed to get the ball. Baseball, don't both teams get the hit?
It's different.
No.
It's different.
We're talking
Football
about the top of the top.
MLB.
Sport. We're talking about the top of the top. Both teams get a chance to bat. Basketball, both teams get a chance for 5 minutes to score. College football, both teams get a chance to score. In tennis, when they keep going over, they don't just trot one person out there and like, this person don't get a chance to return the ball. Every sport, you get a chance. The other team get a chance.
You asking for too much. You asking for too much. Yes, you are. Football, those players are already out there tired. They just like, man, it's up to you to push through. Your defense to push through.
No, I get that. No, stop them. I get it.
Stop them. You got to stop them. This is what the rules are. You have to see. Everybody want to do rule change. Everybody want to do something different. This was wrong. This was going on. Now we got the Tucker rule. Now we got all.
Now
I
won't cry river for him. Now I won't cry river for him because they lost and he didn't get a chance to get it. I'm just saying, in the future, I think it'll make it better if both teams are allowed to possess the football. That's all I'm saying.
No,
both teams should be allowed to possess the football.
Because if their defense would have went out there and stopped them, we wouldn't have this conversation right now. And Pat Mahomes would have got that ball and just kicked the field goal. We wouldn't have this conversation. I think it's fair because all the other team has to do once they stop is kick a damn field goal. It's not like they have to go score. I think it evens
Did I
itself
lose you?
out. Can you hear me?